Okay. Mr. Ogiehor, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So I'm sure you'll be following up on the issues that is surrounding MOWAA in Edo State, from Godwin Obaseki to the current governor, the Oba of Benin. So I want just to ask you, what is your take on this matter?
Thank you. Thank you for asking that question. I think it's a very important topic because of the level of controversy and exchange that it has generated. Two things first that I would actually like to quickly clear out here. The first is that the debate and advocacy for the restitution of Benin bronzes predates Governor Obaseki. That discussion was already there for a very long time.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one very important issue that we need to know. A point in history we need to know. The second point is we are also talking about the cultural treasury of a people. So this is not just any other topic. No one is in contention with ex-Governor Obaseki about any other project that he did in Edo State. No one is talking about the Radisson the hotel that he midwifed. Nor is anyone talking about the Osiemo power plant. So it is understandable that yes, when we talk about the cultural heritage and the cultural tradition of a people, especially people with a very rich cultural history, like the Benin people, the number one custodian of the Benin cultural heritage is the Oba of Benin. So it is understandable that the Oba of Benin will be interested in always coming to build a museum in Benin City, and what is the whole purpose of it. So the whole project, from my own understanding, started in 2018. There's from the minutes of the Benin Dialogue Group in a meeting in October 2018. The Benin Dialogue Group was an international consortium, right? Between some Europeans, the Benin Royal Court, Edo State government, and the National Commission for Museums and Monuments. So they came together and they are actually agreed four main joint decisions that they agreed on. The four made joint decisions were that one, a new Benin Royal Museum will be established in Benin City. So we have to take note of that name, Benin Royal Museum.
Okay.
So, and that museum will host a permanent rotating display of Benin artworks.
So this will be a discussion between the governor and the palace, or is it the Benin?
The Benin Dialogue Group
okay.
Actually met in October 2018, and I agreed these four main decisions. And as I said, the Benin Dialogue Group was an international consortium of Europeans, the Benin Royal Court, Edo State government, and the National Commission for Museums and Monuments, NCMM. So it was agreed that the Benin Royal Museum will be established in Benin City. And that museum will host a permanent rotating display of Benin artifacts. At that meeting, Governor Obaseki presented a detailed project plan. And that project plan was jointly put together by Edo State government, the Royal Court of Benin, and the National Commission for Museums and Monuments. Yeah. The fourth decision action point that was agreed at that meeting is that a 3-year timeline was set for the delivery of the Benin Royal Museum. A 3-year timeline was set for the delivery. So, starting from 2018 when the project took off, so we should have been expecting the museum to be in place by the end of 2021. So the question most people are asking now today is, what happened where is the Benin Royal Museum? And what happened to that international consortium? And how did the Benin Royal Museum change to, a MOWAA and later MOWAA? So how did that name MOWAA and MOWAA came to be?
Okay.
And who gave the authority for the change? You see where the contention is.
Come from. Yeah. Okay.
So my point is that at some point along the line, Governor Obaseki government sidelined the Benin Royal Court.
Okay. That is your opinion.
This is my opinion. So, but what is actually not clear to me, or what's not clear to quite a lot of people, is that why? Why did he then decide to sideline the Benin Royal Court? The Benin Royal Court was not part of the project anymore. So it went from the Benin Royal Museum to Governor Obaseki and some people, some European foreign donors, and a group of other people,
British museums, the
British Museum, the German government, where they agreed that they were going to build a museum in Benin City that will be run by independent persons, right? So, who took that decision to have that, change of course?
I think, because from my understanding, that the son of the Oba of Benin is still on the board of directors of this MOWAA.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, not anymore. So what happened is that at some point he also withdrew.
Okay.
Yeah. So from what we have heard from the statements that are available to us publicly, it looked like even the representation of the Royal Court was not approved by the Oba of Benin.
Okay.
It wasn't approved by the Oba of Benin. So, and at some point, the Oba of Benin wasn't actually interested in going forward anymore. Because at this time, quite a lot of things have already changed. So they, went and incorporated a non-profit organization, limited by guarantee, that they call, I don't remember what they call it, but it's Legacy Restoration Trust. Okay. So Legacy Restoration Trust now appears to be the special purpose vehicle to drive the project forward. So, and at this time, the name Benin Royal Museum has completely vanished.
Changed.
Has completely disappeared from their documentation, and has also completely disappeared from whatever
initial plan, or the Oba of Benin wanted. I do have a question though. So the question is, why is the name creating so much problems? Does it matter whether it's Benin or Edo or just MOWAA? Does it West Africa? Does it matter what name it is, particularly if it is situated in the heart of Benin City? And if this is according to report, because I did write an article about this, if it's going to generate about 30,000 jobs for Edo people. So why does the name, or who hold on to this, why does this matter?
I don't think the contention is about the name. Names are things that can be changed very easily. It could be changed back to Benin Royal Museum. That can be changed very easily. I don't think that the problem is with the name.
Okay.
The problem is with not just with the foundation of the project itself, but also with quite a lot of other things like the management of the trust, who manages the trust, who has responsibility for protecting the Benin cultural heritage, who has responsibility for deciding what the content strategy of that museum would be. What would the museum be showing to the public at what point in time?
Yeah.
So who has control over all of those things? So we're not talking about a private trust, incorporated private trust limited by guarantee.
Yeah, but I see my only concern with this fracas is I understand there is concern about ownership, but the private trust now is not owning any of these artifacts. They are borrowing. It's like British Museum. Every artwork you see in the British Museum is not owned by the British Museum. They are borrowed from different countries, individual collectors, and even in this case in Edo State could be a collection from the Oba Palace being placed there. Some of them could just be a replica, not original. Again, so there is no problem here yet from what I understand, because museums don't normally own these artifacts. So if Oba of Benin, because the previous government by Muhammadu Buhari declared Oba of Benin as the owner of the repatriated artifacts, right? So it is established by law that this belongs to the Oba Palace. Okay, so why is there still a problem? If this is established, and we know that if there is artifacts are placed in the museum in Edo State, is the real ownership will still be the Oba of Benin. The annual generation of fund from this museum is estimated to be around 80 million for 50 million project annually. This will be a huge transformation for Edo State. So why are we allowing the name or any of these things to step in the way when we are about to put Benin City in the world map?
Because it was not actually properly managed. So let me actually try to establish the point of why that is important, right? So, I said initially that we are talking about the cultural treasury of the people. And talking about the cultural treasury of the people, the Oba of Benin is the custodian of the Benin culture, right? So we have an agreement, a gentleman's agreement, to build the Benin Royal Museum. And the building of that Benin Royal Museum, the Benin Royal Museum was going to be host to all the repatriated artifacts, whether the one that will be loaned back or be given back permanently. That museum was supposed to be the house for the new for those artifacts. Now you get to a point where you now use the allure of Benin bronzes, which is known all over the world. Everybody around the world knows that Benin City or the Benin Kingdom is the home of bronzes around the world. So this is a treasure, right? This is not just a treasure for the Benin people, but it's also a national treasure. So you can't have a project around something as tangible and as important to a people as that and sideline the custodian of the people and the custodian of the people's culture, right? After you had actually started a project to build it with him, right? Don't forget that we are saying that was the beginning of the vision to build a museum in Benin. So the European donors who keyed into it and international donors who were making donations on behalf of their governments or on behalf of their museum to actualize that project in Benin City are doing so because of the allure of Benin bronzes and also for the fact that Benin City is regarded as the home of bronzes, right? So why would the Oba of Benin not be interested in knowing or wanting to be part of that kind of arrangement? Of course, it should be not just only at the head, but also at the heart and center of it. So now you have successfully sidelined him. You brought people from outside, most of them from outside the state, and there are also allegations that some of the people who are on the management of this new MOWAA museum are either ex or current financial business associate of former Governor Obaseki. So the question is, just only looking at the ethical part of that. The question now is, who appointed those people?
Okay.
Who decided that it wasn't going to be called the Benin Royal Museum? Where was that decision made? Where is the consensus? There was a consensus with the Benin Dialogue Group, right? Which I said is an international consortium, right? So where is the consensus to shift away from that vision? Yeah, and take ownership of the momentum that this vision has already created, and also take ownership of the project, right? The Oba of Benin is the custodian of the Benin cultural heritage, right? So it should be not just at the head, but also at the center and heart of anything that has to do with a project of that nature. And we are now also saying that the vision to have a museum in Benin City started from him, his idea of building a Benin Royal Museum. So you now took that vision, took away the foreign partners, and now turn it into a private trust. It just doesn't make any sense.
All right. So my next question is, I know the date for 11th of November, on the inauguration date, was announced some time ago.
Yeah.
This was under the government of Monday Ogiehor.
Okay.
Yeah. So he knew of the date. He knew the dignitaries that would be coming into Edo State, ambassadors from different countries, dignitaries from the art world. They all came into Edo State. So the question is, why did Governor Ogiehor allow everybody to come into Edo State before realizing, oh wait, there is a problem? The certificate of occupancy need to be withdrawn now that people are protesting. Why did he wait this much? Why didn't he do this before the date of the inauguration so that people don't leave their home? Why the disgrace?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not a fan of Governor Ogiehor because of several missteps, right? Not just with the management of the whole crisis around this museum, but also with the management of the lack of it in so many other different areas as well. So that was an unfortunate incident. What happened? Because you can have 5 very important countries ambassadors coming into a state, coming into the city, Benin City, and not have adequate security for them. So adequate protection for them.
It was a disgrace.
So it was a disgrace. So and that now that scar now also kind of like has some international dimension to it.
It does,
right? So you saw the article in New York Times and Washington Post. So an article there as well too. So no one is happy about what happened. It could have been prevented if Governor Ogiehor was up to task.
If he had taken the first step to just say, this has no result, inauguration postponed indefinitely until this matter is resolved.
Right.
But this wasn't done.
No.
The next day after the protest that brought disgrace to everybody is when the governor said, oh, listen, we need to investigate how this MOWAA changed to MOWAA, certificate of occupancy whatsoever, everything withdrawn. I don't think that was the right step for this situation. It could have been prevented.
I think the management, this whole stakeholders management around the project has been complete shambles. So not just only with Governor, but also with Governor Obaseki as well, because Governor Obaseki created this crisis, right? So this is not just something that came out of nowhere. So he created a crisis because by certain type of things, that actions and decisions that he took without really actually carrying the other stakeholders along, right? So you change the name of the museum, you incorporated a trust, a private trust, you spend a lot of government money, donated government land, a very important government land. So if you know, I don't know if you know about it, that land actually belongs to the Benin Royal Court.
So I think that is a former location for the center.
That land belongs to it was part of the royal palace.
Okay.
It was taken away by the British.
Okay.
As a way of trying to reduce the power of the Oba of Benin, they decided to build a hospital there. So that land originally belongs to the Benin Royal Court, right? So you give such an important, priceless land away, and
for a purpose.
If you listen to some of the defenses coming from his camp, people say that, oh, it's going to create a lot of jobs for as long as it helps the Edo economy. No, we're talking about the cultural treasure of a people. That is much more important than any other consideration. So we must protect our cultural identity, and we must make sure that no one comes here and messes up with it, right? So for me, that's actually more important than any other thing. I understand the fact that it said it is going to create about 25,000 direct and indirect jobs. It will help the economy grow the economy,
and it will put us on the map.
And it will put us on the map, and it will bring in quite a lot of tourists to Benin, tourists, and probably maybe investors as well to Benin City. So I think his original plan for the very beginning, if you look at the vision of the project plan that he shared with the Benin Dialogue Group, the plan was actually to build a cultural district, not just a museum, but a cultural district that will have walkways, playground, parks.
This is a 4-wing. We're just finishing one side.
Yes, so it was also supposed to have things like places where there will be hotel and restaurants with international dimension and international outlook. So all that are very important. Right. So the project was mismanaged, right? So the change, not just only the change of name, but change of ownership, change of management, with all of the things that I was trying to explain about a cultural district, with all the other things that were going to be put in place. How is it possible for you to realize things like that using a private vehicle, not something that is driven by government? Can the management of MOWAA today decide that they are going to take over some land close to the museum and build a hotel there? Can they do that without Edo State government?
No.
So you spend quite a lot of government money. You not just only invested government money, but also land and a few other things. Don't forget that they were having meetings all over the place around the world. Under what platform? Right? On behalf of Edo State government. And Edo State government does not even have a stake in it. The people are saying that, the British Royal Museum is also run by private individuals or things like that. But you can't become a trustee of the British Royal Museum if you do not get nominated by the trustee and approved by the Prime Minister. The museum is accountable to the British Parliament, to the British people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I hear you.
They are coming to build that type of museum in Benin, especially when it touches on that very sensitive area as the cultural treasure of a people. The Oba of Benin must not just only be at the head, but it must be at the heart.
Yeah,
and
there is distrust. There is distrust.
So the point now is there a way back or road back?
I was trying to point out the distrust between Edo people and the foreign agents because of what happened in the past. Yeah, distrust. The artifacts left the country because of the people they trusted.
The Oba of Benin also when the ambassadors visited him at the palace, it's one statement that he made, said, my ancestors suffered a lot.
Exactly. So that is part of the issue.
Why is it also now still happening in this day and time when we say we are now an independent country? We are now a free people. We are no longer under British rule, right? We are no we don't regard ourselves as a conquered people. So why are they trying to sideline the owners?